Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 22 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. I wanted to thank very much those of you that responded to the comments on Friday's video. You can't respond to comments. You make the comments. Wow. Okay. And you've all given me a lot of food for thought. And I'm probably going to make a couple of changes to my approach, at least in this series, based on that. So, number one. This is very much an AVI problem, but it's also a UI problem. Let me explain what I'm talking about in the person of one Travis Swaggerty. The most important information on this screen is concentrated on the right-hand side of your screen here. It's his ratings, it's his defense, it's this. And then there's his injury proneness, which is all the way over here. And I miss it. I pretty consistently don't see it because my attention is focused on the right-hand side of the screen. This is not a problem with the game design. It's not even a problem that's really something that they should be concerned about, but it's why I miss it. I sometimes have the popularity and morale tab clicked as well, which is also not going to help very much. But the long and short of it is that I do tend to miss things like injury proneness when I'm making decisions, and it's really going to hurt us as a small market team with a very tight budget. And I need to start including that more in my considerations. And I really especially, and this has been a problem for me in OOTP for God knows how long, be so terrified of having people go through arbitration. It's easy to forget that it can help clubs too. Because yes, I'm tied to the player for the first 2 years, maybe up to the first 3, depending on when service time stuff gets triggered. Fine. But it also protects the club in that I don't have to worry about losing him. I just have to worry about how much he's going to cost me. So in reality, your team control is actually 6 seasons, but in my brain it's kind of 2 or 3. And I need to stop that immediately because I'm going to keep making mistakes like this one. And that is what Swaggerty is. Swaggerty represents a mistake. A mistake that, if I were a wealthier team, wouldn't really be one. But this is a big deal for us. This is stopping us from making improvements to the team because of how much his salary is going up. And I've only got an entire player payroll of $51 million. And yes, I can make more room by cutting my scouting or development budgets. I don't want to do that. I could cut my draft budget. And that may actually be, let's do that right now. And now, all of a sudden, I have quite a bit more money to spend. I don't actually have more money to spend. It just looks like I have more because I'm basically committing, I'm saying in advance, I'm not going to spend as much money on the draft. Will I spend more or less on the draft? I have no idea, but that's basically what I'm telling my owner, and so he's giving me more money to play with. And this, to a certain extent, does alleviate the problem of a Travis Swaggerty, but it doesn't eliminate it. At least Mitch Keller is normal, and he's been relatively durable, flirting with around 200 innings the past 4 seasons in a row. He's probably also overpaid, especially starting in 2026. But it's not a big deal. Cabrian Hayes also is considered a bit of an overpay. And I think that's a fair assessment But once again, I'm going to say it's not as big of an overpay as it looks. Yes, he got injured last season, but in the 3 seasons before that, he played very much. And he was always a positive contributor. He's the kind of player we should be building around, not the kind of player we should be getting rid of. So, I've got a bit more money to play with, which is good news. And I've got this Swaggerty issue. And I think we're going to try to trade him for the right prospect. But even just cutting my draft budget, which isn't actually cutting it, there's nothing stopping me from spending my free agent money on draft picks. I just probably won't. Let me see here. Alright. JT Brubaker, I don't need you anymore. There was a time when I did, and you served in good stead, but now I just don't want you anymore. Let's try to quickly flip Brubaker for something interesting. Nobody wants him. I'm fine with that, and that's one less problem for me to deal with. Aaron Savali, for all of his issues, is asking for a pretty small raise. In the grand scheme of things, and let's go ahead and lock that down. Because that'll also free up some money for extensions, because I'll have more cost certainty. Blake Setterland is a decent to good reliever who's asking for basically the same salary as last year. I will happily give him a very modest raise. Patrick Murphy has been extremely useful, but there's nothing he's doing that other players couldn't. He's not like Setterland. Setterland has both performed well, and he has the rating suggests he'll continue to perform well. Patrick Murphy is merely just a decent reliever who can make a spot start here and there. And I'm not convinced that he's going to be worth it. And very critically, I've only got so much money. I only have so much money, and I'm wasting some of it on just not very good players. Wyman, you are going to be waived. I'm probably going to trade Bay rather than waive him. Outman, I don't know. Yeah, Frazier, I'm not going to keep you. Who else? Miranda, you were an emergency stopgap. I don't even know if you're worth $500,000. I know Castro's not. Castro's a bad defender who can't really hit either. And I can probably find something like that elsewhere. Diaz will be gone soon enough. Man, I don't know what to do about Bay. On a team that doesn't have a great first baseman, there's not a huge amount of harm in letting him compete for a starting job, especially because of his positional flexibility. I could probably do better, but unless I'm sure that I can do better, I'm probably not going to mess with him. Mason Martin, I will probably trade. What can I get for you? Tucupita Marcano is basically the same player, but not on a 40-man yet. I don't have a ton of depth at center field, but my lord, the man can't hit for contact. Your upside is 4th outfielder, maybe 5th outfielder. That's not great. Jose Kerpa is an interesting player. He's got good speed, a decent glove at shortstop. You're a utility man who won't embarrass himself with the bat, who's actually had a pretty good minor league hitting record. I think someone like Kerpa is going to be a good choice. Charrington really doesn't like it. I get that, but I don't know what else I could get from them that they'd be willing to trade to make a difference. I'll tell you what I would do. If I can get Espinal as well. No, I'd have to offer something I don't want to give up, so I'm not going to bother with that then. I was hoping the fact he'd take a 40-man spot would encourage you to not need him. No, I've already got a center fielder who can't field. Wonder if I could get Raymond Burgos. Yeah, Vander High is actually pretty bad. We're gonna... Oh, you're gonna take up a 40-man spot. I didn't notice that. And he's fragile. See, I'm learning. I'm learning. Eventually. Tyler Black can't play second. I know you probably don't like the deal. And you don't like it because Mason Martin is relatively polished. But the problem is, this is a guy who's had 2 good seasons in the minors. Hang on. Interesting. I did not pay enough attention to his track record. I am not going to trade Martin yet. What about Baker? I know Baker's actually a tiny bit better. No, Baker's actually a lot better. Like, Martin's upside is where Baker is right now. Which is pretty funny if you think about it. But yeah, Baker is Martin. But he's already Martin. As opposed to Martin, who is not yet Martin. I know that doesn't make sense, but if you think about it, I promise you that it will make sense. Alright. Hmm. So, Mr. Swaggerty, here's my biggest issue with you. I have McGuire here. And McGuire looks like a legitimate prospect who just isn't great at center, but he's also not terrible at center. And his upside is such that he's probably a better player than Swaggerty. Probably. Not a guarantee, but we're definitely in probably territory. Completely sensible, makes good sense. He's not as good as Swaggerty right this second. In fact, he's slightly worse. But he has a lot more upside, mostly just because he's 6 years younger. And it's not even the 6 years younger that I care about. It's the several $1,000,000 cheaper. If I had a payroll of around, say, 70 million or 80 million to work with, I'd be okay to keep Swaggerty for another year or two. You seem like the kind of player I need to get rid of now. While I can still hoodwink other teams into thinking that you're somebody that I want to protect. So I'm going to trade Swaggerty, and we're going to see what I can get for him. All right, we're getting players. I'm not seeing a huge amount here that makes me do backflips, but I'm definitely seeing players. Antoine Kelly is a borderline starter. All right, so we got Kendall Simmons, good power hitter, decent third baseman. Has had good numbers, but he plays third base. And if there's any one position that is kind of blocked, it's third. But on the other hand, our lack of a true major league alternative really hurt us last season. So Simmons definitely offers the kind of player we might want to acquire in exchange. But let's keep looking. A Ryder Green is the same guy that we have several copies of in the minors. A power hitting right fielder who happens to be a little better than average in right. Jordan Westberg is a decent hitter who doesn't play second that well. And I'm going to take the advice of a commenter, and I'm going to move Peguero to second base in spring training and see if he can fill that spot for us with Smith taking over short. Again, I'm not going to sell out for a pitcher. You know, let's make my life a little bit easier. Let's look at only batters. All right, here we go. Milan Tolentino. Excellent second baseman. Potentially a world-class hitter who's going to get on base pretty regularly. He definitely needs more seasoning, and I might be the team to give it to him. Brandon Forrester is another player of the same type, but he happens to be a shortstop. And he's even, theoretically, an even better defender than that. Taylor Smith. Bad catcher, decent hitter. I can't I can't touch that. And Owen Casey looks pretty decent. Milkar Perez. Meh. So I'm seeing really two options here. Both of them from the Angels. I have Milan Tolentino or Brandon Forrester. And I think it's probably Tolentino. He's an ever so slightly better hitter. And shortstop is likely going to be blocked for a few years. Plus, I can afford to take my time with you. I can let you have a full season in AAA and then call you up as I need to. Now, could I get both? I can get both without even hesitation on your part? Can I get Lansville too? Okay, if I want Lansville, I have to give away something relatively big. Fair. That is extremely fair. I'm not really seeing the downside. You know what? A guy like Gabriel Tapia. What would that take? Like, if I could throw in Martin to get Tapia, I would probably make this deal. And here's why I'm making this deal, just to be clear on this. I get two good middle infield prospects. Either of whom offer me a lot more options. Forrester, my dude, you're most likely going to be a utility guy, but you're also like 2 years away from the majors, so I've got lots of time to decide what to do with you. And I have Tolentino. I have a genuine second baseman who could help now, rather than wait for Hernandez to develop, because Hernandez is going to take a while. Tolentino's a nice stopgap in case Peguero doesn't turn out. I'm going to submit this offer and see if they take it. I can't afford Murphy. I'm going to non-tender him. Alamaeus, I want you around as a utility guy. I mean, you're pretty cheesed with me right now, but whatever. I will survive. Mr. Morel here, let's give you... I'm just going to start handing out some minor league extensions. Acuna. Probably Acuna. Jose Sanchez. Acuna Matata. There we go. All right. I'm going to advance a couple of days, and we're just going to see if that trade happens. Okay, we got our new hitting coach. Our staff chemistry is a lot better than it once was. No, actually, I'm thinking of the other game. I did click submit on that trade, right? It's not normal for the AI to take this long to decide. Okay, people signed new deals. I did tell them to make the trade, right? No, apparently it didn't go through officially. I must have hit the wrong button. Let me do Swaggerty again. Let me actually add Martin to the deal at the beginning here, and let's see if that gets me an even better class of prospect. Oh, you jerks. You traded the guy to someone else. Man. Oh, hello. No, Zion Rose. Zion Rose. I don't need to get distracted by a catcher. I mean, I can still get Tolentino and Forrester. I'd love to get Lanesville. I don't think he'll give him to me. We're close. You just say you need a bit more. But then you come and ask for these silly players that I'm not going to give up. I could throw in Mitch Keller and make this the salary dump to end all salary dumps, but I really don't want to do that. I could trade Toglia. And then have Baker be the starting first baseman to just caddy until Blaze Johnson is ready, or Blaze Jordan is ready. Is that something I'm willing to give up? Like, you've still got upside, but boy, have you not shown it in the majors yet. What if I offer you a 7th round pick? You want this chuckle fuck? You can have him. Done. I'm really sorry, fans, but I think that's the right trade for us. I'm going to instantly put Tolentino on the 40-man, and I'm going to send him to AAA. Mr. Peguero, I'm going to move you to second. Interesting. Look, his potential went up. And the only reason it looks worse right now is because he hasn't played second before. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to force the game to use you at second base for spring training. And as long as you do up enough competency, I don't think we're going to lose much with you instead of Alamaeus. And then most importantly, we have a lot of payroll flexibility. So I can do things like, for instance, I can look into getting, say, a 1 or 2 year stopgap at center field to cover for McGuire in case he doesn't work out. I'm going to go and put McGuire on the 40-man right now. I'm going to put Will Klein on the 40-man. And Reinhardt on the 40-man. And Noah Smith on the 40-man. I'm going to get all this started right now so I don't forget about it. This is hilarious that Alex Aguilar is almost ready for the majors right now. Like, I'm not going to do it. But he is developing at an incredible rate. Like, holy shit, he's developing quickly. I didn't think he'd be that quick a study. I didn't. I'm not going to start you in AA, but I'm definitely going to consider moving you up. If time permits. Cody Bolton. Like, what separates you from Omar Cruz here? I can easily find a veteran, sign him for $1.5 million, and probably get better production. And you were outright bad last season. But you're not that far removed from a good season, so I'm not going to jump on you yet. But your time, the clock is ticking in your case, my friend. All right. Let me get me some water while I think about things. Holy shit, I didn't expect that. Mr. Alamaeus won his second consecutive Gold Glove. And my pitcher... Damn, Preacher's even a pretty good hitter, too. Nice. And nobody else made it. Not that they should have. So what do I want to push for in free agency? Center fielder, maybe. Maybe an outfielder, maybe. I've got $12 million, so I can afford to spend a bit more. I wouldn't mind a fifth starter. Someone to let me get rid of Bolton. Or even replace Savali. Until Alex Aguilar is ready for the big leagues. Zion Rose had a great year at NIA ball. I'm going to let him play in AA. Same thing with... you can probably go up to AAA, actually. I can challenge you a bit more. Jordan Guerrero, I'm going to trade you for the first prospect I can get my hands on. Nobody wants you. Fine. Designated for assignment. And free agent filings. Alameus did win a bit larger salary, which is kind of whatever. So, veteran center fielder, veteran starter, lottery tickets, those are the kinds of things I'd like to try to grab in free agency. Oh, it's also time to vote for Hall of Fame. Yeah, if you think I'm going to be in on the signing for Ohtani, you're delusional. Alright, let's do Hall of Fame stuff first. That's always a good time. Abreu, Beltran, Beltre, Colon. Cargo, no. The Grandy Man, no. Todd Helton, yes. Tim Hudson, yes. Nope. 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 Andrew Jones is borderline, but I just don't think he's going to make it. Victor Martinez was a better hitter. Had more power than Joe Mauer, but not by very much. I'll vote for Mauer. Shit, how can I justify voting for Martinez over McCann? I can't really. I'd have to either vote for both of them or neither of them. And the problem is Victor Martinez was never a good catcher. Trust me, as a Cleveland fan, I saw how bad he was for the most part. He was never a great catcher. I'm going to vote for Andy Pettitte. And Manny. Definitely CC Sabathia. And that fills my ballot. So don't worry, Brian McCann and Victor Martinez. I can look at you again next season. I now have no money for extensions, though, which is fun. Oh, because we're in a new league year. So all my signings have to be with the 1 year variety. Priester's wanting big money. Peguero's wanting big money in the offseason. But I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to try to sign him long term yet. I'm going to wait. And if they get pushed a bit by if they get pushed a bit, that's fine. Now, why am I targeting Andy Rodriguez right now? For a very simple reason. First of all, it's the fact that I'm not looking at my scout. Thank you, game. But second, if I could get him to sign... No, I can't do it. Because I'd have to sign one of the other guys longer term. Alameus, you're my dude. I am not bringing you back next season. If this is the amount of money you want. If I had to choose between paying you or paying Peguero, especially if Peguero picks up short or second base as quickly as I think he might, I'm going to pick Peguero in a heartbeat. Maybe like half a heartbeat. Like, yes, I know you've got hardware, and so you're demanding a larger salary, and I just can't afford it. All right. What do we got on the old free agent market for Pittsburgh to kick the tires on? Look at Garrett Cole. No, I can't afford Garrett Cole even if I wanted him, and I don't want him. So, I want a cheap fifth starter, maybe. Ugh, really? That's what like an average starter is going for? Yuck. I can't afford that shit. Take me to center fielders, please. I do like you quite a bit. I'm actually going to offer you a deal. But I'm looking more right now at Lorenzo Cain. Cain is an excellent center fielder who hits for decent contact. And he doesn't want a huge amount of money. If I were looking up 1 year stopgap center fielder in the dictionary, I would probably find his picture. Yeah, I will happily offer you $3.8 million to play for me. It's our old pal Adam Frazier. Look how the mighty have fallen. Did they just cut him? Oh, they voided his team option. That was smart. Any other good deals here? Miasis is obviously one of the best. Yeah, you're fine. You're not exciting, but you're fine. We lost Edwin Diaz, but I have enough raw talent in the bullpen that I'm sure someone can pick it up. Maybe Jacob Wallace, maybe Manuel Rodriguez, maybe Will Klein, maybe Durbin Feltman. I have an embarrassment of riches. Do I have a lefty? I only have one, Tucker Davidson. Hummety Hum. Who's actually a borderline starter and probably deserves a bigger chance than I'm giving him. But whatever. So I'm going to move short to second. I'm going to get a better second base. I'm going to get a better shortstop. I'm maybe not set for all time at catcher, but I'm definitely set for the short term. Between Endy Rodriguez and Logan Brown. If there was like a really great catcher, I might consider it. But I'm not going to pay for Tucker Barnhart. That's not even worth $1 million to me, let alone $3. Yeah, I don't think so. I do not think so, amigos. I could maybe see trying out a Stephen Fuentes or a Logan Webb. Just as, like, your smash glass in case of starter. But there's no reason to believe they won't be sticking around here after spring training, which is when I'll most likely need it. And there's probably going to be people shoved aplenty through. Oh, hello. I will offer you a minor league deal. There's probably going to be people aplenty shoved through waivers that I can always grab, or the Rule 5 draft or something. All right. Yeah, I really think Cain is the only player I actually desperately want. And that's just because I want McGuire to have a chance to maybe back up at the major league level and see what he can manage. So let's go. You want to give me 3 players for a reliever? Potentially interesting. Garbage. Garbage. If you want Setterland, I need more. And I don't think you have more to give me. Like, I can't have Bryce Rayner. And no one else on your team is that exciting to me. Maybe for like a first round pick. What would it take out of... Yeah, then I'm not going to do this. If people want to talk Setterland, they can talk Setterland. That is a terrible deal, though. You think you're going to be able to get a major league deal? I disagree. Good luck to you. I'm not going to bother. I'm not even going to offer you $1 million because you're not worth it. Oh, interesting. You ended up going to the Yomiuri Giants. How much are they paying you? A fair bit of money. So, good luck to you. Misa signed. Kane is liking my offer. Rule 5 is just around the corner. Let's quickly see if there's anybody I want to protect from the Rule 5. It's kind of funny that a few short seasons ago, Nick Gonzalez was a player I was thinking about as a starting second baseman, and now I don't even want to protect him from the Rule 5 draft. I've got 4 40-man spots. They go to waste if you don't use them. You're better than freaking Miranda. I'm going to go ahead and waive Miranda and then put a Escoto on the 40-man. I just don't want to lose him for nothing. Valdez is really nothing more in the National League than like a pinch hitter. I'm actually going to try to trade him and see if I can get another prospect that might be a little bit of a better fit for us. Yeah, you want to give me a pretty good hitting catcher? Oh, look at his ability. Oof, never mind. You almost got me there, game. Decent. I don't really need yet another second baseman, though. Especially one that's going to cost me a 40-man spot. You're a very good hitter. A surprisingly good hitter. And even if I end up changing your position, I'm very willing to see what happens if I do that. Yeah, Connor Walsh. Are you? You're not eligible for the Rule 5. There's no way you should be, right? Yeah. He gets heartburn just thinking about it. Well, it's because I'm trading a prospect for a prospect. I mean, I guess I could ask for a second prospect. Yeah, I wonder if you'd throw in Bellew. Wait, what? What about Domingo Gonzalez has you convinced he's worth anything? I have never had an easier decision in my entire life. What is it you see when you look at him and think, yes, this is the kind of player? I agree that he could be a starter, but he's going to give up so many home runs. Done. All right. Anybody else I want to protect on the 40-man or trade? Like, Trey Fletcher is actually not a bad fourth outfield type. A guy who can play all three positions without embarrassing himself. Admittedly, I have kind of a lot of those. But it never hurts to have depth. I'll put him on the 40-man. Bay. I'm trading you. Wow, really? I'm asking for a prospect. You're not even giving me a prospect. Give me a guy worth $4 million. Don't be ridiculous, game. I will just waive him, and if somebody takes him, they take him. I call that trade a big win. Like, I know Connor Walsh is probably not going to stick at second, but if his bat can keep up, I'll find a spot for you. Heck, I'll just let you be a bench guy that's really good. And Max Bellew here, he may be 21, but he has a lot of potential. Now, this is a guy who could regularly hit 300 in the majors with enough secondary stats to make that stick, even if he is a bad fielder. So I will take that deal every day of the week. All right, Rule 5 draft time. Something happened. Edwin Diaz is refocusing on baseball. You're still a garbage pitcher that I wouldn't even pay $1 million to, let alone 6. So thanks for that, mate. Excellent. You have both cleared waivers. I'm going to send you both back down to Indianapolis. And the Rule 5 draft is tomorrow. All right. I'm just going to look for any interesting player that I can get my hands on that has some sort of future in the major leagues. What? 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 How is a player... Oh, I see. My scout really thinks the world of him. Is that the problem with Mina, too? No, Mina looks like a legitimately good player. who just for whatever reason hasn't made it out of the high minors yet. How much do I trust you, my scouty friend? Oof. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Damn you, game. This is a potentially elite catcher. And I've already got one in my system, but that doesn't mean I couldn't use another one. On the flip side, I have to commit to keeping him in the majors the full season. Or have to return him. And I'd rather not do that. I'd almost rather wait till after the Rule 5 and trade for him. Ishmael Mina, on the other hand, I think looks like a much more solid prospect and someone I would happily carry on the roster as an additional outfielder. He's fast. He's hit in the minors. I know he hasn't gotten above A-ball yet. Morabella's arguably has even more upside, although admittedly he's farther away from it. Emmanuel Rodriguez has quite a bit of talent, although he's hit poorly in the minors. I'll take Mina. And we'll see how he turns out. Oh, Perez. Perez. How much do I trust my scout? If my scout is right, this is a ridiculous option that he's even available to me. If my scout is wrong, all it costs me is a Rule 5 draft pick. And I gotta find the deals where I can get him. So I'm taking him. Look at these cartoon numbers in the minors. I don't know why you've trapped him there. Why have you not at least kicked him up a level? It doesn't make sense to me. Do I take Morabel too? Do I rescue him from obscurity? I mean, I don't have a ton of outfielders that are clearly better than him. Like, he's certainly better than Outman or Maciel. So let's take him. And let's just see what happens, right? Alright, now I'm done. Yeah, I am happy with all of those picks if they work out. If they don't work out, that's fine too. It's probably make Zion Rose not too happy with me. But I don't care. I'm willing to let him grow into his abilities. This just gives me more time. Especially if he can go up to AAA this season, then I have an interesting decision to make next year. And I love having interesting decisions to make. I mean, I'm not going to carry 3 catchers. So what I'll probably do is... maybe give Logan Brown another... or maybe give Andy Rodriguez another year in AAA. And then see how Perez does as a backup catcher. That's probably what I'll do, actually. Right. Let us advance to Hall of Fame. I'm interested by the fact Lorenzo Cain hasn't signed yet. Like, I can't imagine that people are banging on his door begging him to play for them. Here we go. We got him. I am going to have to dispose of some player from the 40-man. No, I don't. Do I? No, I have a spot on the 40-man. I have a spot in the Major League roster. Outman, let's get you back in AAA and just let you play there every day and see if your bat actually develops. There you go. The Rule 5 draft is basically our big secret. Okay, you're gonna offer me Nick Gordon. Meh. I would trade Nick Gonzalez, but not for this deal. I think the time has passed for him to be considered part of Pittsburgh's future. So I will trade him, but not for that package. Kendall Simmons is a guy who only hits for power. He has hit for power in the minors, but that's about all he's done. Meh. Yes. This deal I will make. And we can let him improve a bit in the minors and maybe give him a shot later on this season. One pie. Can I get a guy like Zamarziak? Can I get... Can I get Gavin Cash too? He needs a little bit more. I'm going to take this deal. It gets me 2 good prospects for the price of 1. I got to make that deal. Beltran got elected. Russell Martin didn't even get to stay on the ballot. Neither did Dustin Pedroia. Ouch. I'm not saying that either of those things aren't justified, by the way. I'm just a little bit surprised. No one gave Adam Jones even one vote. That's not a surprise. CC came really close. Why is Beltran... I missed Ichiro. What? I think my brain must have just skipped him over. That is... That was a mistake on my part. That was absolutely a mistake. Ichiro definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I just didn't see him. So, shame on me. I'll vote for him next year. Alright. Let all these suckers keep spending like millions of dollars on free agents. I'm going to give them like 80% of the team at 10% of the price. They're now the Miami Seals. Let me see. Really? See, look at this. The Fusion have this super cool logo. Actually, their logos look almost the same. A missed opportunity, I think. To have, like, actual seals. That would have been cool. I would buy Miami Seals merchandise. Because seals are adorable. Unlike marlins. I mean, unless you're a fisherman, who cares about marlins? Steven Brault got $4 million from the Astros? Who did he have naked pictures of? Or pictures of people with goats? Alright. The problem happened again. It didn't happen again. It's just me not setting my scout. There we go. Potential. Do I give Aguilar a shot in spring training to make the roster? That seems really... I don't think I can do that. That just seems a little bit too dangerous to me. Yeah, it seems like I'm begging for trouble if I do that. I'm not going to have playing time for 3 catchers, let alone 4. So I think Zion Rose is just going to stay in the minors all season. Blaze Jordan is arguably already better than my existing first baseman, so I'll call him up and give him some chances. I've got several outfielders that are all going to be competing for a spot. Several spots, actually. In point of fact, I can tell you exactly... Kane, Mina, Morabel have all made the team already. Either because they have to make the team or because they have something that the other players don't, namely the brilliance at center field. Anyone else is basically possibly for the minors. Maybe Jigba. I'm willing to give him a longer look. Based on what he did last season. Second base have already got several good prospects all competing. Connor Walsh can... Cy Nielsen is actually a lefty. That's going to give him some value. No, I can't do it. I can't, can I? No, I'd be wrecking his development. I can't do it. I cannot give him a shot in spring training to win a rotation spot. No. Bad, Avi. Bad. It's not worth to wreck his development when he might be part of the next amazing rotation just for the sake of replacing, say, Cody Bolton, which is whose spot he would take, or maybe even Sabali's. All right. Lineups. Do your thing, my guy. One of my Rule 5 outfielders isn't even getting a chance. It's Morabel. Well, I guess that's fine. I have 26 players, so it's reasonable that that most people don't get a chance. Pitching, we're going to stick with 6 men. I think it's just the best way to find out who the best pitchers are. And then we're just going to see what happens, friends. All right, friends. Let us advance in time. I'm actually kind of excited about this roster, which I didn't think I would be. Andy Maldonado, you saucy wench. I don't know why I called him a saucy wench, but I enjoyed the fact his control got better already. Because we've added, like, so much under-the-radar talent. Now, admittedly, a lot of this is players with admittedly mid-range floors and reasonably high ceilings. There's every expectation that every one of my players could basically shit the bed this season, and then we'd have basically nothing. But it's exciting to have so many possibilities and so many ways that things could actually go well this season. Which is pretty shocking, I know. And there is hope coming in the minors. Like, Zion Rose could be something special. Like, catchers that play good defense and hit like 40 homers a year are not things that grow on trees. And I have upside with my Rule 5 picks, too. Now, most of these players are not likely to be great right now. That is understandable. But they could be great in a very short time, or at least very good. And I really have nothing to lose by giving them the opportunity. So, let us proceed. I do think they've really improved the trading AI. I haven't gotten one of those deals like the one for Danny Moreno, which was just ridiculous. Especially because the AI proposed it to me. No. Again, not opposed to moving Ornelas with the right package. That is not the right package. Carter Kaboom. I love that name. I know it's probably like Keyboom or something like that, but I'm always going to call him Carter Kaboom because that's just amazing. Especially ever hit like 50 homers in a season. You know those sports writers be all over that stuff, right? If you're a fan of his, by the way, please let me know if his name is actually pronounced like Kaboom, but Kaboom is... It's one of those nicknames that it's just sitting there. You gotta give it every chance, right? What do we got here? Eddie Yeen is a little bit better. Jacob Wallace is a little bit better. Manuel Rodriguez is better. Logan Reinhardt is a whole lot better. Cy Nielsen looks pretty good. Priester is a tiny bit worse. But because he's like unlocking more of his true potential, he's about the same. Mitch Keller got a whole lot better. Okay. Damn, son. Like, that's a giant jump, right? You're saying he's like a strikeout machine all of a sudden. I'm not going to say no to that. Savali's a tiny bit better. Andy Rodriguez improved a bit, but so did Ricardo. Michael Toglia's contact is a tiny bit better, but most importantly his eye is better. Contact here is about 30. His power is improving. There's Baker. Peguero looks awfully sharp. Noah Smith looks pretty incredible. As does Mina. All right, friends. Well, this was a very productive spring training. Very productive. All right. Let us start making those hard decisions. So, step one, the first step. I'm really not the biggest fan of the game continuing to try to say that Jacob Wallace should be a starter. I think he's just better as a reliever. So I'm going to go ahead and manually make you a reliever. If that means Cody Bolton is the fifth starter again, then Cody Bolton is the fifth starter again. I'm not going to complain about that. Alright, Nick Mears is now nothing special. I'm going to try trading him real quick, but I'll probably just end up waiving him. Hey, you want to give me Levi Kelly? Sure. Oh, you would cost me a 40-man spot. I want that milk, yo. Why not take Kendall Simmons? Let's do it. Alright. So that has freed up exactly one roster spot. Roberts ain't ready for the big time yet. Neither is Nielsen. Wow, Klein took a nosedive. Oh, his control and his movement slipped. That's unfortunate. I'm at 14 pitchers. I need to send one more down to the minors. I'm going to send down Klein. And let him develop in the majors as he should. Or in the minors as he should. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, yeah. Okay. Alright, so let's set the pitching staff. Nuke it already. So, give me them pitching ratings. Here we go. Mitch Keller is the ace. Then Priester. Then Maldonado. Then Yeen. And then Savali. With Cody Bolton serving as emergency starter long reliever. The role he was born to play, basically. And the reason that I did that is, okay, first of all, if I'm controlling him, I don't need this here anymore. I know that he will be used as a starter. And the reason that I'm setting things up this way... Now, we do have one big issue. A tremendous issue. That may affect how well our pitchers do. All of them suck at throwing strikes, besides Priester, and especially Savali. Mitch Keller's got insane stuff and incredible movement, so he's going to be able to get away with that. Maldonado and Yeen, maybe not. And Yeen is also very low on stamina. So his future might be that of the starter. I don't know. Closer. It's either going to be Wallace or Rodriguez. And I love the raw stuff that Rodriguez has. So you're going to be ninth only. Jacob Wallace. I'm going to make you my setup guy. But I'm also going to set you as middle relief. I want you to get into games frequently. Because you've got good stuff and good control. Logan Reinhart, I see you as a middle innings kind of guy. Tucker Davidson, you're my specialist, but you can also do some middle relief. Heck, you can do some long relief if I need you. Who else? Feltman, I think, is the other setup guy. Which leaves Setterland and Rodriguez. And I'm also going to make Rodriguez a long relief guy, too. Because he's got pretty good stamina. He could definitely stand to do some pitching as we need him. I think this is perfect. I think this is going to a very good pitching staff. But it is a staff, again, and I can't stress this enough, that's going to be very susceptible to variance. Because all these are big strikeout guys with bad control. All it's going to take is a tick up in their walk rate, and they're going to struggle. But we have 4 flame-throwing arms. That could all be pretty exciting. All right. I now have 39. I still have to get rid of more players now. Endy, I'm going to let you play in AAA. Can you give me some contact this season, Jordan? Please. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to make this promise to you right now. And hold me to this, friends. If I don't do this, let me have it in the comments. If you can get at least 45 contact and 60 discipline, both of which I think you can manage, you will be my opening day first baseman next season. I'm promising you that, Blaze Jordan. What do I do about Baker? It's the classic Toglia actually has some upside. Baker doesn't. Actually, Baker also has upside. I don't want to lose Baker for nothing. So I don't know that I want to waive him. I think he wouldn't make it through waivers. But I'm not going to carry a second first baseman on my roster. I just don't have the flexibility. Hernandez to the minors. Tolentino to the minors. Escoto's never played above rookie ball. Let's start him in high A and see how he does. Soto Candle second and short. Alamaeus Candle second and short. Connor Walsh back to the minors. Do I need to keep Vargas on the Major League roster just to give Hayes a break every now and then? No. Hayes was god-awful, or Vargas was god-awful in the Major. I'd rather have a less quality backup than subject myself to that garbage. Minors. Maciel and Outman, I think you both get waived. And if somebody takes you, somebody takes you. But I genuinely don't think that you offer enough flexibility. Ornelas to the minors. Mina can play center without embarrassing himself. But then again, you might argue that maybe Mina should be playing every day. No, I think he's better suited. I think we send down McGuire. But I'm going to keep him in AAA because he's never played in AAA before. And we're going to see how he handles it. And I'm just going to make sure that they don't demote him until I say he needs to be demoted. I still need to get rid of one more player. And friends, you know who it's going to be. It's got to be Baker. Baker is a luxury I can't afford. I don't need another first baseman. I could demote Toglia. But I want to see what he can do in the bigs. I don't want to lose Baker though. But I think I have to. Because even if we try to argue that maybe Baker is a tiny bit better than Toglia, he's not better than Jordan. And Jordan's got a sky-high ceiling. And I'm going to take the player with the ceiling over the player that's a bit more established. So what can I get for you, Mr. Baker? Really? You're going to give me hot garbage? I'd rather waive him and take the chance somebody else grabs him. I'd rather lose him for nothing than trade him for either any of those players. So here we are. Your opening day roster. Let's go in advance to opening day. And then I'll start filling out the roster. I would be a tiny bit surprised if nobody tries to grab Baker on waivers. I don't have anyone in the top 100. I'm only the number 7 team. That's fine, you jerks. They do admittedly have one more day on waivers, so someone still might grab them. But it's fine. Clear and clear. Alright. You know I start with contact. The best contact hitter should be the number 3. It's Cabrian Hayes. Easy choice. I think Hudson Head is our leadoff guy. He's the best combination of contact hitter with not striking out and batting eye. And he's still got a world of potential, right? Like, he's scratched the surface of what he might accomplish. So, Mr. Head, you're my leadoff guy. From a number 2, I like a bit of pop, but still a good contact. Which is going to be probably Peguero. And I know that the AI was like, I'm going to make Noah Smith the leadoff guy. I'm not ready to give him that much responsibility yet. I don't want to rush him. Alright, cleanup hitter's got to be someone with good power. Probably Toglia. Because he also got enough on-base skills that he can make up for his bad contact rate. Now, big question here. Who is my opening day right fielder? Is it Mina? Is it Morabel? Or is it Jigba? And I think it's Jigba for an incredibly important reason. He's the only other power threat I've got on the roster. However, no, he's about the same either way. Yeah, it's going to be Jigba. And the only reason he gets the job is just because I'm not sure who else I'd want to have it. Yeah. Then I think we play Noah Smith, batting 6th. Logan Brown, batting 7th. And Lorenzo Cain, batting 8th. You know what? I'm going to let Noah Smith bat 8th. I want him to feel no pressure, and I want him to focus on playing amazing shortstop. And his bat will come with time. He's done nothing but hit in the minor leagues. I have no shortage of confidence in being able to hit in the major leagues. But I want him to develop that at his own pace and not rush him. And I know it looks like we're playing some pretty substandard players, but change ratings to potential, and all of a sudden it becomes crystal clear why certain players are getting so much playing time. It's like, happy, sad. Happy, sad. Oh, well. This is probably Logan Brown's last year with the team. If Perez can be even a 1% backup, if he can even manage the tiniest ability to back up this season, or Logan Brown might shift to being the backup. A lot depends how much money he wants, which is not very much. Okay, so the lineup is set. I was trying to remember, does Hudson Head have a hole in his swing? It's not a big enough one to justify benching him, quite frankly. So I'm going to copy the lineup. I'm going to paste the lineup. Against DHs, I'm going to let you do your thing. What are you doing? Oh, because I didn't do the depth chart yet. Do I want to set my own depth chart, or do I want the AI to do it? Alright, one thing I definitely want to happen is I want Perez to start once a week. And that's going to be true either way. Wait, what? What are you doing, game? What? No. All right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to copy both, and then I'll fill out the depth chart later. Because it's being weird right now. It's like, oh. There we go. Alameus is going to be the primary backup at second base. And he's also going to be the defensive sub. You're going to back up for Smith. If starter tired. I guess Soto kind of becomes the backup third baseman by default. I want to view secretly like a guy could shove it first, are you? That's fine. There we go. Look, I don't doubt that Alameus could probably play third base quite well. He just never had the opportunity. But I think Soto is the better choice. Just because Soto's going to be here next season. And Alameus probably won't. Mina is the better center fielder. So I'm going to make him the primary backup at those two positions with Morabel as that. And then we're going to swap here. Yeah, you guys are just going to be never starts so that the game knows that they can be played in if they need to be, but otherwise they don't start. And then Morabel here and here. Do I want to give Mina the odd start? Or is that going to be too detrimental to Head's development? I think it would probably be a little bit too detrimental. They need regular playing time. Oh, you're actually an even better right fielder, too. Yeah, Morabel's just the number 3 player no matter how you slice it. Mina, Morabel, and Perez as pinch hitters. Mina is fast as shit, so he's the pinch runner. Then Morabel. Do I want Jigba to play a little bit less? Or do I want to give him an opportunity to lose his job? I think, again, he deserves an opportunity to lose the job. And then if he can't handle playing right field, I've got Mina who can step in pretty quickly and not cost us any issues. So this, I think, is the depth chart we're going to go with. The only person who's going to be starting regularly is going to be Perez. I really want to make sure that Hayes gets more regular rest, because I bet that's probably why he got hurt last season. I wonder. Oh, you can't play third. Simmons only plays third. I guess there's some argument to be made for benching Soto and letting Vargas come up and be backup at first and third. and then letting him maybe play like once every 10 days to keep Hayes fresh. Yeah, Casoto's just a worse version of Alameus right now. I think Vargas is more useful. So it's going to be Vargas, and you're going to play once every 10 days just to keep Hayes fresh. That's the only reason I'm even saying that. Not Hudson Head. He's not going to start playing third base third base. And then Vargas can also be the primary backup at first base. And I know Vargas was pretty terrible last season. I know equally well that it's because he was forced into a huge role before he was ready for it. And I think if we give him an easier job, that he's got a better chance to succeed. And you know what? If he doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. I can accept that. I can accept that. Look how cheap we are now. That's very exciting to me. Only two players aren't... only three players in this lineup aren't on the Major League minimum. Alameus, Ke'Bryan Hayes, and Lorenzo came. Which just means eventually this is going to cost me. My cheap days will not last forever. But I'll take them while I can get them. What about pitching? I'm paying a tiny bit more for pitching, but honestly not that much. I've got 4 pitchers above the minimum. Two of whom are still making less than $2 million. One is only making a little bit less than $3 million. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. This pitching staff looks like it's gangbusters already. And boy, if even half of my lineup improves by 10 to 15 points of overall over the course of the entire season, we're going to have an excellent lineup. And right now, it looks really bad. Again, happy, sad. But I don't think the sad is that sad, actually. We've got several players who are going to be pretty good at getting on base, and guys like Head and Peguero. Toglia and Smith-Jigba, with a little bit of luck, can be role players for a few years to come. And if there's anything this lineup lacks, it's power. Even if everything develops perfectly, we have 3 hitters on the roster with power that's 50 or above. And that's if they develop perfectly. And one of those is Hudson Head. But we're going to have multiple players with 60-plus contact and multiple players with 60-plus on base. I mean, Noah Smith and Hudson Head could be a 1-2 punch that give opposing teams nightmares because of how good they could be at getting on base. Or Hudson Head could be my 5th place hitter. If I get even a little bit of contact out of Toglia or Smith-Jigba, they're going to be big contributors. But all of this is entirely speculative at this point. But that's kind of what we're forced to do. I can't afford to go out and spend money to get the big stars. I don't have that kind of budget. I have to develop my stars. And that means finding them in unexpected places. Like the Rule 5 draft. Like trading prospects for prospects. Like picking people up off of waivers. Let's just quickly go by where these players come from. Logan Brown, trade. Ricardo Perez, Rule 5. Michael Toglia, trade. Steven Alamaeus. Did the Pirates sign him? Yeah, the third round. They drafted him. Peguero. International free agent. Although he was traded to the Pirates. Cabrian Hayes, draft. Miguel Vargas, trade. Noah Smith, draft. Rule 5 draft. Oh, he was traded by the Padres to the Pirates. Okay. Free agent. Rule 5. And I think you were drafted by... Oh, no, you were traded. Okay. If we look at pitching staff, trade, draft, international free agent, yeah. Priester, draft. Eddie Yeen, international free agent that was traded. Tucker Davidson, waivers. Durbin Feltman, Rule 5. Logan Reinhart, trade. Yariel Rodriguez, free agent signing. He's a minor league free agent. Jacob Wallace, trade. Manuel Rodriguez, trade. Why is your morale unhappy? I'm sure you'll get over it. These are all players we basically picked up out of the bargain bin for a lot of them. And I think it's been that skill that's allowed us to develop a pretty potent team, potentially. There's that ugly P word. And if these players don't work out, then there's always more, but it's going to be pretty disappointing. And I'm very concerned about how the owner sees me right now. He's unhappy. He's a jerk, but whatever. We have to be better than 15th in home runs. I don't think we'll be able to fix that. Better right field, maybe. Better team record, maybe. But we don't have a team with a lot of power hitters. And so we're just going to have to ignore one of the things he says. I've been feeling if we finish anywhere near 500 or even make the playoffs this season somehow, like if we back in, that's probably going to be enough for me to not get fired. When is my contract up? 2027. All right. I'm going to offer all of you extensions. Right now, let's go. Mendy Lopez, you probably want a substantial raise. I think you've earned it. Yoel Hernandez, please stay. There we go. I'm not happy, by the way, that my scouting director makes more money than I do. By a lot. I'm actually the only coach who makes less money than me on the Major League staff is my first base coach. That's kind of shit, my dudes. I better be making over $1 million in my next contract, but... So, let me know what you think. We have a very different opening day roster with new starters at 1, 2, 3 positions. Technically 4 compared to opening day because remember, Jigba wasn't our opening day right fielder. Mika Rodolfo was. But Hudson did start. How close were you to finishing? You were third place in Rookie of the Year. That's understandable. Have a nice day. Rotation's more or less the same, except for the shocking Andy Maldonado. Bullpen's pretty different, actually, but that's fine too. And I still have one of the best prospects in the majors thanks to Alex Aguilar. So I'm pretty excited. I'm really excited to see what Noah Smith can manage. If he can hit anywhere near 300 in the majors, I think he's going to have a very long career that I hope will end in the Hall of Fame. But until next time, this has been Indian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.